Cimo, all I want for Christmas is a Cimo video.
I'm sure that's what a lot of people want.
I'm sure. Did you know I haven't heard a Mariah Carey song once this Christmas so far? All the radio stations don't play Christmas music anymore. It's insane. It's crazy.
Say, now that I'm like ingratiating myself in the Magic community, I saw the this is probably every Magic player probably knows this. I saw the thing in the ice meme. I thought that was very funny.
It's a good meme. It's a good solid,
meme. Very
solid
good
as solid as a block of ice meme. The thing in the ice. What a card! I should have shown you that card at some point. Now I guess you've seen it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, oopsie. Would you stop, please? No, I've got.
It came up on Twitter. I'm sorry. It's not like I looked for it. I'm gonna look up Mariah Carey Magic the Gathering memes. Yeah, okay.
You have a problem. You have a Twitter problem, and I'm here to try to help you. And I just stay off there. I just repost things that you post, and that's it. Anyway. What are we doing here? It's the end of the year. I love a good end of the year episode, so I have some burning questions for you. How many Yu-Gi-Oh cards that were released in 2025? Take a guess.
Do you know the answer to this?
I know.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't know.
AI has a range. AI couldn't come up with such a number.
Let me just take a quick think here. What? Actually, let me pull up Yu-Gi-Oh set chronology. If I see how many sets came out, I can actually give you a pretty good guess here.
How many sets do we have? Let's see.
Great question. I need to get to that point first. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Are we talking about just cards in general or like only new cards?
I don't know. Yes. It's cards.
Yes, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we had one core set, so that's like 100 cards. We had a structure deck, so that's like 40. An OTS pack is like 20 or 30, so like 170. I would say like in the neighborhood, definitely no more than 1,000. We definitely didn't get 1,000 cards for sure.
In your Eternal format game, you got under 1,000 cards.
Probably under 1,000 cards, if I had to take a guess. Yeah, give or take maybe 100 or 200 in each direction. So like maybe 8 to 1,200 if I'm gonna wager a guess.
Awesome, good, great. That's a nice healthy number. I would.
You're like,
God, what
Magic
got for that.
4 billion new cards.
Our standard format alone got 1,645 cards.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Just standard.
Cool.
Just our newest, hottest format got that many cards. I have no idea what it is for Commander. I'm sure those numbers will come out. I'm sure the Command Zone is doing a sweet podcast about it. I'm sure it's a fine number. It's insane. Now, here's the question. How many of those new cards in Yu-Gi-Oh got banned this year?
Ooh, how many of the cards that were printed this year got banned?
Yeah, how many cards did they... Sure, how many cards they banned? How many of those new cards got banned?
How many of the new cards got banned? Not many, I'll be honest, because like the way Yu-Gi-Oh typically works is unless something is really, really egregiously bad for the game, they'll typically tiptoe around it, either restrict it first, then ban it, or they'll ban stuff that is older because, it's not like there's a motivation for them not to. So out of the new ones, not many. Not only a handful, if that. Now, older cards, they banned an absolute, they banned a ton of old cards. But new ones, not many.
Well, here in Magic the Gathering,
oh God,
we decided to set records for the amount of bans of both new cards and standard cards.
Nice.
And the amount of bans in standard in a single announcement. That is new. It is not technically the most bans in the history of standard ever, because once upon a time back in Mirrodin block, we banned an entire cycle of lands. Like 6 of the cards banned were lands that did a same thing to just get that whole type of card out of the format. But other than that, we are absolutely breaking ground with the amount of cards we can ban and how quickly we can ban them. And you and I have talked about current Magic a good amount over the last year. So I thought it would be fun here at the end of the year to play did it get banned this year?
Okay.
And see if you remember these cards. Because I don't know if we talked about all of them, but we've talked about a good amount. All right. So this is going to be your end of the year quiz to see if you remember which cards got banned in Standard in 2025. I knew we would eventually
circle back to this, where we're going to be looking at cards we've already looked at. We're like slowly getting to that point, but I guess we're here now. So, all right.
We've been so resistant to it. And yet, at least for me, I don't remember them. So this is an examination. Also, I have a feeling there will be Magic players out there listening to this who are going to be like, "What? That card got banned this year?" Like good. For real. Yeah. So let's play the game. Why not?
All right. While you're setting up and sending me the first card that I'm probably never going to remember, I'm pretty sure, assuming what I'm looking at is correct, not a single card this year that was printed was banned. Every card I've seen here that was banned is all old cards that were not printed this year. Like some cards were printed in like 2023, I saw. But a lot of them are older cards that are definitely outliers for sure. That probably should have been banned even sooner than that, to be honest. But
right on. There's also the in Standard we have the 3-year ban window. So some of these were like printed so many months before they got banned, and in some cases that might be over a year. But a lot of them were banned within their first year. Like a lot of them. So buckle up. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Heartfire Hero is a 1-mana, 1/1 mouse soldier with Valiant. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, play a +1/+1 counter on it. And when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. This does sort of look familiar. Have you shown me all of these cards or only some of them?
Some of them.
Okay,
I honestly don't have a list somewhere of what I showed you. I used to upkeep a spreadsheet. I gave up at some point. I'm not sure. I know that Raren got into Arena, and we have a lot of conversations about Heartfire Hero because of a very popular card. Sure. But yeah, I'm honestly not sure if I showed you the mouse.
Okay. So Valiant's interesting. It's kind of like Prowess, but more permanent. Right?
Exceptionally permanent. There are a lot of Valiant abilities. This, I think, is the only one that like permanently puts a counter on it. There's a lot of Valiant abilities that are like, here's a temporary buff. Here's a triggered ability that like exiles a card and you can play it right now if you have the mana. There's other Valiant abilities.
I mean, this seems pretty aggressive just for like a 1-cost card. Because I feel like if you have this turn 1, this can like really spiral out of control. But ban worthy? You telling me they banned this thing? I mean, God, like I'm looking at these cards that they banned this year in Yu-Gi-Oh! As I was trying to see if they banned anything. I found one from 2024, by the way, so we were very close to this year. And
this doesn't have enough text, probably. This probably doesn't have nearly enough text.
No, it's just the cards that they banned in our game are so much more egregious comparatively to what you had to deal with. I'm like, God, it's like not even close.
There are several cards in my pile of cards that were not banned this year, just so you know we are playing the game proper here.
I don't think they banned this. I think this is like, it seems very pushed. Don't get me wrong. This seems very pushed. But banned? God, I mean, the standards for your guys' game are so different. This doesn't seem ban-worthy to me. I'm not gonna, I can't ban. Out of principle, I don't think I can ban this. I don't know. It's just like, this does not seem ban-worthy.
It's too cute. It's just a creature. Just kill it. Is that what you're thinking? Just kill the damn thing.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where, I mean, like, again, if you start off with this or maybe multiple, then it like really gets out of hand. But like you showed me the Cub, right? I feel like the Cub is way worse than this comparatively. So yeah, I'm not gonna say they banned it.
I mean, I agree with you about the Cub. I really do. But bro, they banned the fuck out of this card.
Why? Why?
Dude, this card got shipped out. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. You say we're a bunch of babies when it comes to like our floodgates and all this stuff. You guys banned this? Come on.
Heartfire Hero.
Why? Give me the story.
Yeah. In less than a year. This was banned on June 30th of 2025. Yeah, this made it less than a year in standard. But you know what? We do have that huge advantage over, your game, which is they tell us why they banned things. So
don't remind me.
I've got an actual list here. I've got some reasons. Here's what Wizard says. Heartfire Hero has been a key piece of red aggressive deck strength throughout the last year of standard. The curve of Heartfire Hero into Manifold Mouse, which a Manifold Mouse is a 2-mana 1/2 mouse that says that at the beginning of combat on your turn, target mouse gains double strike or trample. So right off the bat, you can give it double strike and you're attacking.
Strike.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. You're attacking for 4 on turn 2. Are you terrified yet?
No.
I didn't think so. It puts the opponent under pressure immediately, and it forces decks to have ample interaction for early turns. In addition,
I'm under pressure immediately. Oh, whatever will I do?
In addition, Heartfire Hero's Dies trigger gives red decks significant resiliency to many kinds of removal. Its strength has shifted the format towards decks that run interaction starting on turn 1 or 2, or decks that can leverage Temporary Lockdown, a card that for 3 mana exiles all spells that cost 2 or less. All permanents that cost 2 or less.
Do you think they should have banned this out of curiosity?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah. But that's because I hate red aggressive strategies to my core. I despise them. But I think that what Heartfire Hero really exposed, and this is the part that doesn't show up in the ban list and won't show up in like the rest of this video, that people forget about when they look back on the history of ban cards. Because for sure, when this got banned, I was like, that's going to get Cimo someday. For sure. I was like,
there
100%.
It did.
And
I probably got it. I probably said it wasn't banned the first time too and got it wrong again.
There you go. And what is missing is that this card was printed in a set alongside several other cards that interact with it so perfectly that they took up basically 12 to 16 spots in your aggressive deck, and they were so much better than anything else that you would just never run an aggressive strategy without them, ever, for as long as they were legal. And since they were all printed in that set together, because of that, I think Wizards looked at this and was like, we're never going to sell a whole bunch of these cards that are coming out over the next several years in the 7+ standard sets coming in 2026. And the, 6 standard sets coming in 2025. So when they had cards like Manifold Mouse in the format, as well as another card, Emberheart Challenger, whatever, in standard, it's just known as the Mouse package. These cards play so well together, and the cheapest, easiest to cast one that is not a rare, so it wouldn't impact the financial punch that people took. Heartfire Hero took the bullet.
Interesting.
Yep. And yeah, these cards all being in the same set meant people were just going to play Bloomburrow Mice and no other aggressive strategies forever. And they didn't like that. What do you think about that?
I mean, I was going to make a joke about the fact how mice were a tier 1 legitimate strategy, but I'm coming from the game where the best deck in our game for a while was a whole archetype of Japanese desserts. So can't really yeah. Well, maybe we'll get into it one day.
Someday?
Maybe we'll
the dessert package?
Not even the package, it's the whole deck.
Okay. Oops, all desserts? That's the
when
deck
we're dealing
type.
with cards called Cookie and Yummy. Yeah.
Dude, we have those we have those here in Magic too. It's a good time. All right. Yes, Heartfire Hero. Already got you. We're off to a great start. This card, by the way, red aggressive strategies on Arena are by a mile the most played thing almost at all times.
But that's best of 1. That makes sense.
Yep. That really does.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing getting banned actually shook best of 1 to its core, which is really something. But
I understand. May
not have been the end of red in best of 1, but it definitely got different. All right.
Oh god. All right.
Next card.
Stock up 2 to blue for a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If this was in Yu-Gi-Oh, this would be insane. I mean, it'd be free though too, so it'd probably be insane in your game if it was free too. God, they have to ban this. This just seems fine. I mean, look at that. Like, I feel like you have a million cards in this game that do something similar to this. Like, how is this bad? I guess.
I mean, dig through time, kinda, but it had a rotating cost.
I guess the only way I could see this being really oppressive is if you have stuff that's like reducing the cost of it. So then if it's like, okay, if it's only costing like 1 to do this, and that's kind of nuts. So like maybe that. But
how could that happen?
I wonder, how could that happen? But at that point, is stock up the problem, or the card that's reducing the cost of the cards the problem? I feel like that would be the latter in that instance. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
It just showed you the Grand deck.
Exactly. Like, that's what I was thinking of.
Grand makes this cheaper. Artist Talent makes this cheaper. This is fine.
Yeah, but like that's not the problem. Like that point, Grand's the problem.
Man, it's too soon for Grand to be in this video. She's only been out like a month. You're right. Stock up is not banned. Stock up is. Yeah. Yep. Ding ding. Stock up is a card people have talked about banning because for the longest time, the Pot of Greed quote rate in Magic, especially in Standard, was Divination. Is
it's
the name
3
of the
for
card.
2, right?
Yep. 3 for 2. Yeah. And then this came out and people were a little mind blown that now you get that level of selection at that cost at an uncommon spot. And stock up does continue to have places in a lot of decks. There was a period of time during this year where stock up in everything was the lesson, that you just were supposed to run stock up in everything, only to lately be supplanted by the Accumulate Wisdom Lessons package that is now being run in everything.
Sure.
So in a sense, stock up is almost power crept out of the format by Avatar, which, holy crap, we are moving way too fast.
Well,
this is insane.
I'm going to hijack your video here for a minute. We have this card in our game called Pot of Prosperity, and it's not exactly stock up. The base of it is you look at the top 6 and pick 1. So it's not look at the top 5 and pick 2, but this card's actually restricted to 1 copy in our game. So like this effect is very strong because it's always the argument of card selection versus card advantage. Right? And being able to go, in our game, 6 deep when our deck's only 40 cards, 35 if you take out the opening 5, right? You get to see a lot of your deck just to find a particular card. So, like, I definitely don't, like, undervalue how powerful stock up is, but I feel like, just relatively speaking, I don't think it's ban-worthy, personally.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fine. You know, fair enough. Let's try a different card. How about this card?
Hopeless Nightmare. 1 black for an enchantment. When this enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. When it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2. And for 2 and a black, you can sacrifice Hopeless Nightmare. Why are you showing me this?
That is usually what you say when you think the card's bad.
Usually, yeah. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. And then when it's put into a grave, you scry 2. And then you can purposefully sack this off, which is interesting. So the only thing I can think of with this is if there's a way to recur enchantments specifically, like if there's like a guy that's like, oh, like what's the 1 broken card?
The 1.
Yeah, the 1. The cat.
The cat?
The black and white cat.
A black and white broken cat?
Yes, the black.
Are you sure we're talking about Magic right now?
What's it called? It's like each turn you can play something that's like
Luris.
Yes, Luris.
Okay,
Luris.
yes. Luris is way out of standard at this point.
Okay, I'm aware, but my point being is that if there's a Luris type card that like lets you recur this essentially for free, and then you just get to keep using the enter the battlefield effect to like keep making your opponent's life miserable, like that's like where my brain's going with this. I don't know if they would print something as busted as Luris ever again, because that thing was crazy. But even then, like, okay, here's my problem. My problem is my initial thought is this card sucks. And then I'm like, okay, why are you showing me this then? Because you're probably thinking that I'm going to think this card sucks and that they actually did ban it because of the fact that I think this card sucks, so I get it wrong. That's where my brain's at this point. We're just playing the mind games. Games.
Yep, you can do what you got to do.
Because, like, even if you have the ability to keep recurring it like that, like, yeah, that's annoying, but I doubt you would be able to, like, do it to the point where it's, like, extremely oppressive. Maybe? Making your opponent discard. If you're doing this, like, every turn, how annoying is that? Drain them for 2, make them discard. In your game, that's, like, not even that bad, though.
Yeah, we get a free draw step every turn. What's the problem?
Well,
we're casting stock up. We're adding 2 cards to our hand. We're beating you to death with
that's what I mean.
heroes.
Like, discarding a card in your game compared to our game is, like, completely different.
Like, you picture this card against, like, the Lessons deck. They're just filling their graveyard with Lessons. They're loving this.
Are we only talking standard bans, or are we talking bans in any format?
We're only talking about standard, yeah.
Because then I was thinking, I'm like, okay, is there something in, like, another format? Because where this could be... Because, again, the Luris thing, because then Luris is legal.
Can you see why people would want it banned?
This?
Yeah.
No?
You said it would be annoying if it, like...
annoying, not like... Yeah, but not like, okay, like, annoying is like a fly buzzing around you that...
Sure.
Not like I want to, like...
Sure.
I can't do it. I I honestly
can't ban Hopeless Nightmare.
I can't do it. If there's like a combo I am not able to comprehend, then sure. But even in my like Luris Disneyland combo, that still doesn't even seem that good. So, all right, what do we got? Why did they ban this?
Hopeless Nightmare is banned.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Why?
I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to save it because it might have something to do with other cards, and we'll see if you can figure it out. We'll see if you can figure it out.
Okay.
But right now, you just get to live with the hopeless feeling.
Oh, I'm feeling hopeless, all right.
And now you know the bar for a banned card in this year of Standard right there. Hopeless freaking Nightmare.
I'm going to hold myself back. Yeah, go on. All right, what's the next one?
Let's show you this one.
Overlord of the Haunt Woods. This guy kind of looks familiar. 3 and 2 green for a 6/5 enchantment creature avatar horror with impending 4, which costs 1 and 2 green. If you cast a spell for its impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters and isn't a creature until the last removed. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. And then when this enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless land token named Everywhere that is every basic land type. Maybe it didn't show me this. I don't know. It's like the art. The art looks familiar, but then like I don't remember the effect in the slightest. The Everywhere thing is kind of cool. I'm kind of surprised. Like, it'd kind of break the game if they did that, but that's just like a neat little thing I've never seen before. So that's fun. So you're in green. You play this. You immediately get to ramp. A land token is interesting as well. If you cast it for its impending... If you cast it for its impending cost, does that trigger its second effect? Or does it only trigger the second effect when it's a creature?
It does trigger the second effect.
Okay. So you can play it for 1 and 2 green and get the Everywhere thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. I don't think this is ban worthy. I mean, this seems really strong. But I don't think they would ban this card. I'm not getting band vibes from this. But then again, I didn't get band vibes from fucking Hopeless Nightmare, and here we are. I don't know. This just seems like a very pushed card. I think this card's good. I don't think it's ban worthy though.
Good, strong mythic. Good, strong green enchantment creature, avatar horror mythic.
Yep.
And you would be right. This card is not banned. Overlord of the Hauntwoods was incredible while before rotation, because there was a whole slew of cards that benefited from the everywhere being every land type.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
There was a mechanic called Domain. I'll show you really quick. Really cool card. Yeah, check this card out as an example of what you can do with Domain.
Leyline Binding. Domain, the spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land. Oh, that's cool. So it immediately is 5 less just because you have everywhere.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
so
that's
now
sick.
it's
Now
really,
it's 1 mana for a really
good 1 mana card. Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's crazy. Okay.
So that was really good, but Dominaria United did rotate. That set rotated. Things actually do rotate in Standard, thank God. It just takes 3 fucking years. And then Overlord of the Hauntwoods became a much fairer card and is still legal today. So everybody can be overjoyed that their very expensive mythic overlords are still allowed.
Still played?
Still played.
Cool.
Here and there. A little more,
not
a little less.
Like meta threat or anything. Yeah.
And not like it used to be, that's for sure. Not like it used to be an absolute monster.
It seems like appropriately costed, and it doesn't seem like it does anything like egregious. Yeah.
All right. I'll keep it going.
That's really cool that like it has like the 5 mana reduction in the Leyline Binding. That's sick. That's cool.
It's a combo.
Oh, the Prof's Eidetic Memory.
You remember this one.
I do remember this one. 1 and a blue for a legendary enchantment that draws a card on enter. You have no maximum hand size. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, you get to put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where it's the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. Yeah, because I remember we were talking about this like in the context of like, would it get banned, I think? And I don't remember if it ended up getting banned or not, so that's the fun of this. I remember this card's very good. This card is like extremely, extremely good. I
think I first showed it to you because of this card, Tiger Seal.
Yes, I think it was in the context of that. Yeah. We're still coping. Like out of everything you've shown me thus far, I feel like this is the first card I feel like deserves to be banned, because I feel like this card is like on the edge. If they didn't, they would have had to ban a lot of stuff around it, I feel like. So I'll say they banned this. I think maybe this was just like a bit too good.
And they did. They banned Prof's Eidetic Memory, which is probably the only reason Tiger Seal didn't win the World Championship and make me look like an absolute genius. Tiger Seal did get played in the World Championship even without Prof's Eidetic Memory. It won a tournament in the weeks leading up to Worlds without Prof's Eidetic Memory. But man, I think if those two cards were together, it would have been insanely cracked. To be honest, like, holy crap.
Even without Tiger Seal, though, I mean, that's just an exceptionally good card.
Prof's Eidetic Memory is a really bizarre card that it didn't pop off right away. It had a deck, and that deck would win sometimes, but it was very much like a tier 2, tier 2.5 kind of deck.
Sure.
And then as more sets came out, it just got this critical mass of where it felt like every card you played could draw a card, or at least rummage a card. And the card got better and better, to the point that by the time it got banned in November, just last month, it was... They used it as an example in their article, which I thought was very telling, that they tested this card. The playtest team, the design team, tested this card with the other cards that came out in the set with it at Murders of Karlov Manor, which was the beginning of last year, the beginning of 2024. And that they didn't test it a lot with all the cards that came out after that.
Classic.
And it just led me to say what would go on to be the title of my video about that ban announcement. What are they doing? So, yeah.
Small indie company, they just don't have the resources to dedicate. I feel bad for them,
It's tough. like the thought of testing everything is overwhelming. The thought of like, sure, you put this card in a set and you test it with the other cards in the set and the standard cards that would come before it. So you test it for when it's new and you're like, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't have the full support, so it's not a problem. And then you never pick up that archetype and test it again as you release another set and another set and another set. And you do have 6 sets a year to test with little archetypes in all of them that you need to test into the future. Can you miss it? Yeah. And I can sympathize with that. But it's also like, maybe the cards that say draw a card and get paid for drawing cards deserve a little asterisk. What do you think?
Yeah, or maybe they need a slightly higher cost, if anything. Like, I mean, we come from the game where drawing cards requires an arm and a leg, so we're very familiar with that concept.
Let's talk a little. You know what? Let's further test your familiarity with the concept.
Up the Beanstalk. 1 and a green for an enchantment. When this enters the battlefield and whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. Hey, more card draw. We like that. It's like sort of seems familiar, but I can't recall exactly.
So you might have seen it in the past. I can't remember, honestly, if I showed it to you or not.
So, I mean, immediately replaces itself when you play it, so that's good. Doesn't feel bad in that regard. I like how, like, so many solutions to cards are like, yeah, as long as it replaces itself, like, you don't feel too bad playing it, right? Can't have a downside. You're in green, so you can play big stuff pretty easily with this card. It is just kind of crazy that if you do start playing stuff that's big, it just all replaces itself before anything even happens. And that's not even counting the value it gets like on the field when you play it. Because it's like, if that lets you draw cards, if that like kills stuff, like you're already generating an advantage just off that card alone. But then it's like, oh, hey, here's like added value. And the trade-off is what? You take a turn off on your like turn 2 to play this when that doesn't even matter anyway.
How would
But I don't know. You might die to Heartfire Hero. I don't know.
Not anymore, baby.
Yeah, not anymore.
How would Yu-Gi-Oh feel about it, like a field spell that drew a card every time you played a level 5 or greater monster?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. How would Yu-Gi-Oh feel about that? I mean, it would not let you... It would be restricted to, like, once per turn, if anything. Like, there's no way they would have it, like, that you could just do that infinitely.
No, this isn't restricted, clearly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Unless it was like, oh, when you tribute summon something that's, like, level 5 or higher, then you get to draw a card. Then, like, maybe? Because, like, tribute summons are way... harder to do than like a special summon, and you're like limited to how many you can do, obviously. I don't know. That would be bad in our game. But your game's different because again, like if this was like every time I special summon something that's level 5 or higher, I draw a card, that would be fucking insane. So that's kind of what I'm equating it to, but it's different because all of our stuff's free and you actually have to pay. You still have to pay the mana to get the stuff out onto the board. And you have to cast it too. It's not like you can just like because like if you play a thing that like reanimates something, right, that's not casting the thing, correct?
If you play a thing that's reanimating something, it's not casting the thing. You cast the reanimation spell, but I'm guessing you're saying the reanimation spell is cheaper than 5.
Yeah, I'm saying like say it's like reanimate, right? Reanimate like 1 black or whatever, and then you bring back a thing that costs 5 or more. That doesn't count as casting the thing that's 5 or more.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. This is tough. It seems really, really good. It's limited by how much mana you have. Okay, here's a question. Say what's the card you just showed me? Leyline Binding. If I cast Leyline Binding for 1, is its mana value still 6?
It is.
Ooh. Trickery. Okay, that changes things. Because now you can sort of bypass that. I could see a world where this with this card is like why would you like not play this card? Like every deck just wants to play this card because it's just so much added value for free. And then it becomes this like arms race of everyone just trying to figure out the best version of that deck. And then that becomes very boring because everyone's playing a deck that's just playing this card. And I could see them thinking that that's not very fun. And so it's like, it's not necessarily getting banned from the perspective of like it's mega egregious. It's more banning from the perspective of every deck is a beanstalk deck. And we don't want that. So like, because we want like different decks in our game. So, like, I could see that angle, but...
Would you ban it, though?
That's the thing. Like, I'm like, would you ban it at that point? Or, again, with, like, new sets that just get introduced. Like, I don't know if it doesn't even become a problem. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I don't think they banned it, but I think if they did ban it, I think it's for the reason that I'm thinking, where it's... This card's very good, but I think it's more so the fact that every deck just becomes homogenized and it becomes like a beanstalk deck, and that just gets boring. And that's like the reason that they would ban it. I don't think it's necessarily like a power issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Sticking with that final answer.
I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, it's like that's the only thing I can think of. So I'll happily be wrong. If
So, fortunately, we have the exact reason why
that's true. You do.
So we can see if it lines up. But yes, Up the Beanstalk was actually banned in Modern in 2023.
Damn.
Very shortly after its release. In Modern. And then banned in Standard in June of 2025.
Damn it.
Yep. And what they said is that... decks powered up by Up the Beanstalk are hard for many types of strategies to adapt to, which effectively eliminates them from the metagame when Up the Beanstalk decks are prevalent. The deck building puzzle of Up the Beanstalk has been solved so many times at this point that we expect it to be more monotonous than engaging as more cost reduction cards get released in future sets. So I showed you some of the pieces. Right, I showed you Overlord of the Hauntwoods, Leyline Binding. Those both trigger Up the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
It is mind-numbing how many cards they have printed and keep printing that cost less based on X, Y, or Z. And every one of these cards just keeps working with beans. That's what they call it, beans. For example, this was a real deck at the time. A card I just showed you last week.
The Crab.
Eddie Merc Crab. Yeah, costs one less for each instant or sorcery in your graveyard. So with 5 instants or sorceries in the graveyard, it's only blue. And yeah, that draws you a card with beans. So you can crab into crab into crab, drawing cards the whole freaking time, playing 5/5s. It's kind of wild how many ways there were to do the Up the Beans puzzle, which I think kept it around the format for a long time, because just because you played beans didn't mean you were playing a specific type of deck. But eventually every bean deck very much felt the same. And it also felt like, why would you even play this? Why would you play a style that plays multiple turns of Magic that isn't just rush you with Heartfire Hero if you can be playing... You have to play beans at that point. Like every deck that goes over 4 turns needs beans to have gas, or it's not a real deck. And so, yeah, they banned the beans. I know.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think it was enough for them to ban it, but I had the logic. So I mean, I kind of got it half right. So
I think you achieved the fabled, very important, essential for bragging rights half point that we often distribute here on the show. So on that note, let's keep this going.
Beseech the Mirror. 1 and triple black for a sorcery. Bargain. You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast this spell. Search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If this spell was bargained, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If the spell's mana value is 4 or less, put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. So it is a tutor. If this spells bargain, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost if it's 4 or less, and then put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. So Hopeless Nightmare is a 1 black enchantment. Interesting. And maybe that's just a very cheap thing to be able to bargain for this, to be able to tutor and play something for free.
That would work.
And then when that dies, you scry 2. Okay, whatever. If it was
you would
bargain,
scry 2 and then you would shuffle. So
right.
What an experience.
Not like, yeah, exactly. Not like that's really going to do much. Cast the exile card that pays mana cost if it's 4 or less. Otherwise, you just put it in your hand. So at this point, if there is some combo where you like play the Hopeless Nightmare, you beseech the mirror to like sack that so that way you can bargain for the beseech the mirror to get whatever combo piece that you want, and it does like a cool thing. At that point, I feel like Beseech the Mirror is the problem. And this is obviously assuming that this is why Hopeless Nightmare is banned. But I feel like there would be a million other 1 mana enchantments or artifacts or cheap ways to get a token to be able to bargain for this. Like, because I don't feel like that solves that issue.
I mean, do you think the card like on its own has alarm bells? Beseech the Mirror.
It's funny because it's like in your game, maybe like in our game, it's like, oh, this, tutors for a thing. And yeah, like our game doesn't have, we talked about this recently. Like our game doesn't necessarily have like, oh, tutor for like literally any card, right? We have like some restrictions on them, or like I would say the restrictions are heavier on what we can tutor versus like what you can tutor. But you have to pay for your tutors. That's the trade-off, right?
In Magic, like tutors had been on quite the extended break from Standard. Like they just didn't print them for Standard very often until.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't a big part of Standard. If they were very like kind of clunky or more difficult. And then they seem to be back in a big way recently. Whatever's going on with that design philosophy, they don't seem as afraid of printing search up a thing anymore as they were even a little while ago.
There's also the argument of like whatever it is that you're searching is the problem, because then it's like Beseech the Mirror becomes more copies of that card. But then even if you ban that card, then Beseech the Mirror can tutor for like the next like best degenerate combo piece. So then it's like, okay, maybe it does require to be hit. I don't know. This seems fine. I think this is okay.
Okay, so you're saying not banned on Beseech the Mirror.
I don't think they banned this.
Yeah, good detective work. This one is not banned. They have changed their philosophy drastically on tutors, and Beseech was one of the cards that had people the most concerned that they're only the wrong printing or so away from a problem. But you're right. As of right now, Beseech is totally fine and legal, and its interaction with Hopeless Nightmare was a bit of a red herring in this video that you sniffed out very well. Good job.
I knew it. I knew it. He was baiting me.
How about
this is what happens when this is what happens when we deal with each other for like every week for years. Monstrous Rage. 1 red for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn and create a monster roll token attached to it. If you control another roll on it, put that one into the graveyard. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. So basically this reads give something +3/+1 trample, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then an ongoing 1/1 in trample, but yeah. In the moment you play it,
in the moment. In the moment, yeah, because it's an instant. You'd probably combat trick it, and then it just gets the +1/+1 permanently. Okay, mono red. This with Heartfire Hero. I don't know if they were legal at the same time, but that seems like it would be a disaster.
They were legal at the same time. I can show that.
That seems like a disaster. Okay, cool. Well, they banned the Heartfire Hero, so did they have to ban this? If there's something else, well, you sent me other mice, I think.
Yep, I did share the mouse package, of which Heartfire Hero was the banner holder for them for sure. But obviously Monstrous Rage on any of them is a very efficient play.
Yeah, I mean, Emberheart Challenger is prowess. That's pretty good. And Valiant for what it's worth. But it's like a combat trick, bro. Like, you're going to ban a combat trick? Actually, I can't even say that because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has actually banned combat tricks. So
really?
Yeah, and like in very old Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Did.
That gets me. Did I already miss this in a video? Maybe I did.
I think it's not even really a combat trick, though. It's more of like, I mean, I'll show you because I'm pretty sure I've shown you before.
Probably.
I'm almost certain I've showed you.
A Yu-Gi-Oh! Combo combat trick that got banned. Okay, I do want to know. I do want to see this.
It's not even really a combat trick. That's why I don't really think it counts. I mean, combat trick in quotes, but here you go.
It's a trap card. It's Mirror Force, and it says activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack to destroy all attack position monsters your opponent. That's not a combat trick.
That's our definition of a combat.
What the hell are you talking about? This is a dude.
That's our combat trick, baby.
This is nothing like Monstrous Rage.
What do you mean?
No chance. Oh my god, that's not a
think about it. If they attack into your monster, you Monstrous Rage it, so your thing lives, and then you kill something else on your next turn because you still keep the +1/+1,
no,
right?
What did they do? Block with like 12-0-1? Like, did they block with a whole bunch of creatures, their whole board, and somehow you pumped it to the moon? No way, dude. Come on.
It's like the same. It's like the same thing. It's like the same.
Not even close. Not even close. No. Okay, so what do you think they did with Monstrous Rage?
Like I said, that's our version of a combat trick.
Jesus. A ban-worthy combat trick, according to Cimo. It was banned.
Mirror Force was banned. Again, it's one of those things when it's like, it's so cheap. And especially if they banned Heartfire Hero. It's like, I see, like, with the description of what they said with Heartfire Hero, I feel like this sort of plays into that same philosophy. And I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you open, like, Heartfire Hero Monstrous Rage, like, oh, the game's just over because you just, like, can't beat that type of thing. I could see it. That sounds like almost like Hearthstone in a way, too, from, like, some of the stuff we've done with Rarin. And they've banned stuff in that game for similar play patterns, so... It's crazy to me. It kind of goes against like what I would think is ban worthy, but I think they might actually have banned this card. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
You're gonna say they banned Monstrous Rage. I got you to say that they banned a combat trick in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
You would be right. They banned
They
banned Monstrous Rage.
Wow, that's crazy.
I never would have guessed it. I never would have guessed that Monstrous Rage would have been a banned card when I first saw it. And then when the 900th or so Monstrous Rage hits you, you start to get the vibe that there was basically no room in Standard or in any format, even in older formats, Monstrous Rage got played, like Pioneer, because like blocking was now dead. There were so many strategies that actually use the combat system in a defensive way in Magic the Gathering over the years. Like blocking with a small token, chump blocking, no longer matters in a world with Monstrous Rage. But neither does playing a 3-mana 6/6, which green could do, and would still get absolutely blanked by Heartfire Hero, Monstrous Rage,
that's crazy,
and Manifold Mouse. I have a game where I played turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 6/6 Dinosaur, turn 3 6/6 Dinosaur, and another spell, and got destroyed by Heartfire Hero Monstrous Rage. It wasn't even close. And yeah, they said goodbye to Monstrous Rage. They discussed banning only Heartfire Hero or Monstrous Rage, but ultimately decided banning both was the correct course of action. Reading directly from the article now, the two cards are both independently strong. Leaving either alone would make it likely that aggressive decks in the format would still be combo-style aggro decks with consistent explosive starts and a lot of burst damage potential. By banning both, we shift the aggressive strategies of the format away from combo-style aggro, decrease the interactional burden on non-aggressive decks in the format, and increase the number of viable cards in decks. There you go.
There you go.
I don't think they ever... I can't think of, let me know in the comments, another time where they banned a combat trick like this. But that's what they did.
I'm trying to think with Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't think... I can think of a couple combat and like actual combat tricks. I'm not going to give the Mirror Force example again.
You admit it. You admit it's not a combat.
Well, 'cause I was trying to think of something that was like, what's the closest thing I can think of to an actual, like, okay, so hold on. They've restricted combat tricks. So here, I'm going to steal your video. You can give this a quick read.
That's honest. I love it already.
Yeah, it's an honest combat trick.
During your main phase, you can return this card from the field to your hand. During either player's damage step, when a light monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That monster gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster it is battling until the end phase.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, just if you're attacking something with 3,000 attack, your thing gains 3,000 attack, essentially.
Yeah.
So you always like win combat, essentially. They restricted this card. This card got restricted because it was way too good. Yeah.
They just didn't like that combat was such a mess now that the tiniest thing could do battle with the greatest of blue eyes and win. It kind of unflavorful, to be honest.
It's an older card. It's from like 2007, 2008-ish. And so it's having 3 copies of that card and there's no real way to interact with it. Not very fun. Not very fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, do you want your game for the rest of the time while combat matters to be determined by this card as opposed to be determined by like the numbers on your monsters? Yeah.
Right, and the light attribute at the time was like considered the best deck, so I think it was just a consequence of they had to hit some cards, and so this was one of them. And this is a card that people still fear to this day if they play against light decks. They're like, oh god, don't have honest, please.
I swear to God, I had this next card queued up before you showed me this, but
that's funny.
Let's see what you also think about this one, given all that's just been shared about Monstrous Rage.
Slick Shot Show Off. That's fun to say. 1 in a red for a 1/2 bird wizard with flying and haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. And then plot for 1 in a red. You may pay 1 in a red and exile this card from your hand. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Plot only as a sorcery. Interesting. So it's like you can put it on layaway, essentially. Precast
it, maybe?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's weird because it's like you don't get it like for cheaper for plotting with it, which is odd. I would expect it to be like, oh, you only plot it for like 1 red, you know?
Yeah, that'd be a little good. Yeah. I mean, the big upside, well, I'm sure you can find the upside. I believe in you.
Cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+0. I mean, being able to... Oh, because it's casting it as a sorcery. Oh, I get it. Okay. So it like buffs itself?
Actually, or no. Like, that's just a timing restriction.
Oh, okay. That's a timing restriction. I thought it was like, oh, because it's like non-creature spell. It gets like the buff thing. Got it. Okay. I thought I had it. I thought I figured it out. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. I'm definitely missing it.
That's okay. Oh, okay. You want another second?
No, you can tell me. You can tell me because I'm.
I mean, maybe it's so simple. Maybe it's so simple that your Giga Brain already calculated.
I'm probably
not sure.
I'm
probably true. Yeah, but when you play this on a future turn, then you didn't spend any mana on that turn, so you have all your mana available to cast the spells that make this more powerful or protect your bird wizard.
Sure. I guess I figured that was a given. I didn't think that was like the haha
something you totally missed.
I mean, I did totally miss, but I was like assuming that was already the case. It's like, oh, you get to play it for free later. Like, okay, yeah, like sure, okay.
Still not okay. So you're still not impressed that when you
really.
play this later, you have the mana for your monstrous rages and other effects. This doesn't do it for you.
They didn't ban this. There's no way they banned this. No shot.
They literally just said the combo style aggro that they needed to get rid of.
No shot.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't banned.
Okay,
you got it. You're winning. It is a really good card. I
don't say it's a bad card. Yeah. But yeah.
It has won tournaments. And it does continue to be a monster threat. It is a nightmare to play against. Particularly when it's plotted, because you just always have to have mana available, because at any point they could win the game if you do if you commit resources. But it is a fair card, 100%.
Got it.
This
now,
on
when you exile it, it's face up, right? Like they know what it is.
It's face up. Okay. Yep. Not a very good plot, if we can be honest. If you just show your enemy exactly what you're doing.
That's what I was thinking, right? Like, how is that plotting? Like, whatever.
It's not great. However, this card.
Corey Steel Cutter, 1 and a red for an equipment artifact. It gets +1/+1 and trample and haste when it's equipped. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you create a white monk creature token with prowess, and you may attach this to it, and you can equip it for 1 and a red. I remember that they banned this, and I remember thinking once again that I can't believe that they banned this. Because it was, again, the things they banned in your game versus our game, I feel like we're in two different universes.
You wouldn't touch this card. You're like, I haven't seen any reason to worry about this card.
I think in all of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, I think they have banned one equip card ever. No, that's not true. The other things they banned weren't really, they weren't really like equipment is the weird thing. They were more like enchantments, but the actual like, if we're going to go by like actual artifact equipment equivalent in Yu-Gi-Oh, the only card I could think of was responsible for like infinite loops and stuff, which Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't naturally have. So, and that card's still banned today, funny enough. So that to me justifies banning a card. This, again, I'm sort of understanding it more because of like how aggressive some of these decks were. Because when you're piling like all of these cards together, like the Heartfire Hero, and then the Monstrous Rage, and then the Corey Steel Cutter, like all these things like one after another, it's just like a lot. Like I feel like the games were probably ending so fast for you guys with this.
On top of that, like this is not like they really haven't had an equipment quite like this, because it's also an engine. Like it's making these things every single turn. And if it were still legal, you can picture like how it would function in the Lessons deck, for example, where they're casting at least 2 spells every turn. And they wouldn't need like the Monument to Endurance thing probably, because this thing would just be your Monument to Endurance. Oh yeah. And the fact that they have haste means the damage just keeps coming at all times. The prowess means that they would always be 4/4 or 5/5s. We talked about Storm Chaser's talent. I mean, this card.
Oh my god!
This card was right there with Storm Chaser's talent. This and Boomerang Basics were supposed to be in the same format. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wizards.
I definitely think I've come around to like understanding why this card is banned. Like I remember before I was like, oh, this is stupid, but yeah, like I've come around to it. Like I've started to understand it more for sure.
Yeah, this card. I can't believe it. It was insanely powerful when it got released. It only lasted in Standard, I think, like 2 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like April to June. And seeing what else they've released this year. How did they ship this card? How? Just like all you got to do is read some of the Avatar Lessons cards and you're like, wait a minute, those were going to be together? Yeah. That was going to be your Standard. I'll have to do one of those videos. I did one back in Eldraine times, right before Eldraine rotated, of like, this is what Standard was supposed to be, where I played with all the banned cards being against a friend and they were legal. Oh my God, that video was insane. I've got to do another one of those. But
I
it's
also
like,
thought
yeah.
Ash was going to end it all with Corey Steelcutter being legal.
I mean, Ash was not having fun. I don't know many people who were. A big part of the problem with Corey Steelcutter was also just the 2 permanents at the low cost. There wasn't a good way in the entire format, even though it's a giant standard. They don't print cheap removal spells because clearly they want people to play their cards, I guess. They didn't print removal spells that were cheap enough that could deal with the cutter and the token in a reasonable way. And that's a lot of why also Up the Beanstalk is banned, why Proph's Eidetic Memory is banned, because there was no good way to deal with these things. Once they came down, the opponent was already up a card. If you had to respond right away with a removal spell, you spent your turn, usually a very crucial turn 2 or 3, removing this thing, and the opponent's still up a card on you. There's no good interaction piece for these. Right. So you had to play them, or you had to kill the opponent before the benefits that they provided paid off. And as only a 2-mana card, it meant you had to be absurdly fast. So yeah, standard was pretty messed up at that point. And still, some might say still is. I don't know. Is it Lessons looks like a fine deck? Badger Molekup looks
I don't
like
know
a
about
fine
that.
card.
No, I don't know.
And somehow we're still not done with red cards.
Screaming Nemesis. That's me anytime I have to read these cards. 2 and a red for a 3/3 spirit with haste. And it's dealt whenever it is dealt damage. It deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. When it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. And then if a player's dealt damage this way, they can't gain life. That seems like a commander card. In terms of just that last line of text. I'm not sure how relevant that is.
Oh, I play it in Commander. Oh, hell yes, I do. It's very fun to get somebody. People build their whole decks around certain life gain triggers in Commander sometimes.
And oops.
And, it's so good. You're
so fun to play with. You're so fun to play with.
I don't run it that often. You know who runs it the most? You know who loves this card? Gina. My wife.
I can see that.
Loves this card. Yeah. Oh, loves it. Hates life gain decks with a passion. She played on a webcam Commander show once, and I think she said 2 players were playing life gain decks, and it felt like the game took forever, and she was so salty afterwards. And so I started adding this card to every Commander deck of hers, which all of her Commander decks are red, and she loves it. Yep, adores it. Yeah.
It's kind of cool that it can redirect damage. I'm assuming that also counts combat damage too, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Spell damage or combat damage. They're both treated as damage with this card. Yep.
That's really good. My brain's firing through all the scenarios where you could do some cool stuff with this, but banned?
It's a 3-mana 3/3 haste. We've got billions of those in Magic history.
I'm just trying to think if there's a overwhelming amount of ways to abuse the first part of the effect. I think them not being able to gain life for the rest of the game is just a consolation, especially in standard, whatever. Command, that's more of a commander effect in my mind. I could be wrong. It could still be relevant for standard, but I don't know. Good card banned? I don't think so.
All right. You're going to go with not banned on Screaming Nemesis.
Yeah.
Lock it in. Okay.
Lock it in.
This one is pretty funny. They did ban Screaming Nemesis.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, they banned it last month.
Why?
Yep. And it's going to be funny because of the reasons that you gave. So, first of all, back when they banned the Monstrous Rage and Heartfire Hero, they said that they wanted other kinds of aggressive decks to be playable besides just Mono Red. That didn't work. Mono Red was still one of the only playable decks in the format. And it wasn't until Nemesis actually got banned that it really fell off in standard, like pretty hard. Right now is probably the least mono red has been played in standard in like this decade.
Wow.
It has actually finally fallen off a chunk. It still does get played, but just not at the rate that we're used to seeing, where it was just always the deck. But here's what it says. Screaming Nemesis is among the strongest cards in a default mono red deck, one of the most frustrating cards to play against in the deck. It single-handedly removes most counterplay against mono red by giving the mono red deck a great game plan against two of mono red's natural predators, life gain and large blockers. While Screaming Nemesis out of the equation, we believe it is far more likely that the metagame will find a healthy equilibrium with mono red as just part of the landscape and not the deck to beat. Literally, there are people who love life gain decks. Love them so much. There really are. You can find them on ladder way more than you would expect. And Wizards has sold them cardboard, especially in the last 2 years. They have printed a bunch of good life gain cards. Cards that get bigger every time you gain life and are very cheap. Their own Heartfire heroes, if you will, although they cost 2 mana, not 1, because 1 mana would be insane. Who would do that? And they've also printed life gain cards that draw cards on a pretty regular basis. So there's a really good card that says if you've gained 3 or more life this turn, draw a card. There's a card that says if you gain life, this gets bigger, and the first time it gets a counter each turn, you draw a card. So actually having card draw for life gain has made it a pretty good strategy. But the most played frickin' deck in the format is mono red with a card that says your deck does nothing.
Sure. Okay.
So I think they are actually trying to not just take a dump on their life gain players and let them play Magic, which is cute in its own way.
I think I overlooked the fact that in your game, there are those synergies of like gain life, do X thing where like, there is an archetype that is the whole gimmick where like, if you gain life points or like if your life points are higher than your opponent, then like you get to do like cool stuff. But for the most part, like, and I've told you this before, like life gain in our game basically is just like, it's like laughable. There's like maybe one good life gain card ever. And so, yeah, I think I overlooked that for sure. And so, like, in that case, I get it a bit more. It's kind of one of those, I guess it's more from the lens of, like, an anti-fun card in that sense, right?
I suppose. I still can't believe they banned it.
I can't believe they did either. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but you know what? Sure.
The large blocker thing is legit. Like,
That's sure.
I was talking about, like, you can play a turn 2 6/6 in this format. And then Screaming Nemesis comes out and is like, well, I attack. And you're like, I guess I block. And they're like, take 6.
Right, because it does the 3 from combat and then the trigger deals another 3 and kills it, right?
Well, you can. So it takes 6 damage from the thing that blocks it. So you have 6
because
damage.
It's 6 because it's doing right. Sorry. I get it now. Yeah.
Now you have 6 damage. You can throw it at the thing. So this trades with anything.
Or just 6
you
to
can
face.
Go face. Yeah, 3 mana, 6 to face. Why not, right? How bad could that be? So yeah, it's gone. They got rid of it. There you go. Screaming Nemesis.
Okay.
Crazy.
07s.
And somehow, still not the last red card.
Wow, they were on a crusade, weren't they?
Unless this didn't get banned, maybe.
This is like half red. This doesn't count.
Vivi. We hardly knew you.
I still think my favorite memory of Vivi is when you were kind enough to invite me out to come play some lovely Magic the Gathering Commander with you. And you decided to play Vivi. And you're like, oh, don't look at me in my Vivi. And then all of us go after you. And you're like, why would you go after poor CGB for playing this card? And this is before anyone like had actually like this card has seen the light of day, essentially. And yeah, and now we know why.
We know. Yeah, I know. I knew what I was doing. Oh,
we knew what you were doing too. And so, it has blue. Because why not? It has to have blue in it. If it didn't have blue in it, you probably wouldn't have even looked at it at all.
The only people who didn't know what they were doing were the people who designed this card, Cimo. This card is stupid. And when,
I disagree. I disagree. They knew exactly what they were doing. Because
Okay.
you know what? They wanted to appease the Final Fantasy overlords with a good collaboration. Because that's how you do business in this industry.
And you know what? Maybe you're right. Because Final Fantasy made more money than any Magic set in history by a mile.
Exactly.
So you know what? You're right. They knew what they were doing. Sure. And then Vivi proceeded to break the holy F out of Standard in a dramatic fashion. By the way, do you think this card got banned?
Yes.
Wow, good call. In a dramatic fashion and in a way that was really funny. So there was a Pro Tour that happened before the second round of bans, which was in June. And it was the first Pro Tour Final Fantasy, where Vivi was legal. And it actually came up like only a few months after the release of the set. Not many people found the interaction with Vivi and Agatha's Soul Cauldron right away. And I had it in our Commander game, which is kind of really funny in hindsight. But it didn't do in the Commander game. It didn't do, nearly as much as it would do in Standard. When people figured out that they could play a bunch of creatures that had +1/+1 counters on them, then get a Vivi in the graveyard, probably because the opponent has to kill it the second they see it, and then use Agatha's Soul Cauldron to give Vivi's activated ability to all of their creatures with +1/+1 counters on it, resulting in all the mana you could possibly want to do every degenerate thing you could ever hope to do in a game of Standard Magic the Gathering. And you had games that looked like the Nadu games in Modern, like last year, that just turns that took forever, generating, not always winning the game, but generating so much freaking value that how could you lose?
Right.
And this deck was there, and some people played it, but it didn't make it into the top 8. It was by far the most played deck. I think it was it was a huge meta share, but most of them didn't play Vivi because Corey Steel Cutter was still legal. Corey Steel Cutter was the known entity going in, and everybody ran it. They banned the Cutter. They banned a whole bunch of other cards that we've already talked about. They left Vivi alone. And for the next however many months...
I was going to say, how many was it?
Until November 10th, it was a 2-deck format, Vivi and Mono Red. And that was because the Mono Red deck, if it went first and had a good draw, could be fast enough to kill the Vivi deck. That was the only reason that Mono Red was still good. And that was it. Those were your 2 decks. It was one of the darkest, longest, most miserable competitive standards. A tournament attendance declined 60-some% at the major events.
It's funny because this reminds me a lot of the Firewall Dragon incident for Yu-Gi-Oh! And so, in short, at the anime that was being played at the time, it's not the original one that a lot of people remember. There's like different versions. And so the Dark Magician, if you will, or the Blue Eyes White Dragon, if you will, of the new anime was called Firewall Dragon. And Firewall Dragon was absolutely broken beyond all hell, similar to Vivi was. And it put them in this weird situation because it's like, imagine if Yu-Gi-Oh bans the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the game, right? It's like, how can you do that?
Yep.
That's like the equivalent of what we're doing like for the time that Firewall Dragon was released. And so eventually, similar to Vivi, they had to rip the Band-Aid off because it's like, this card is not healthy for the game, and they did eventually have to ban it. So it's funny, the parallels there just kind of remind me of that for any of the Yu-Gi-Oh people listening.
And yeah, there still are like the theories about, could they ban, maybe they have a window they have to wait. Maybe they have to wait 6 months to ban a Final Fantasy character after their Final Fantasy set comes out. I don't know. People say that's a thing. Some people say that's not a thing. It's unknown. What is also a thing is people believing it's a design mistake, that the way the ability is written so that you can use it the turn you play Vivi or copy Vivi's activated ability is so busted, so degenerate, that this was supposed to be a tap ability, or it was supposed to trigger when you moved phases so that it couldn't happen multiple times a turn, or that it had timing restrictions. The fact that Vivi just ignores all of that is insane, and it's still a very popular commander card. We'll see if it ever gets the Nadu treatment of being banned across other formats. But yeah, it had to go in Standard. It had to.
Or you just put on the tinfoil hat, and it's like, if you want to help just sell a set even more, here you go, just saying.
There you go. Indeed. Yeah. Indeed. Well, that's still not even where I have, we're still going. We are still going on potentially banned cards from 2025. What a year.
This town ain't big enough. 4 and a blue for an instant. Costs 3 less if it targets a permanent you control. So then it's 1 and a blue. Return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hands, I should say. If it targets a permanent you control. So if you target one of your things and one of their things, it still costs 3 less?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Otherwise, it's 5 to bounce 2. This seems fine. They did not ban this. There's no way. Surely not. Surely not. This is just like fine. This is just like a bounce thing, right?
Just another blue spell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know there's like the boomerang basic stuff we were talking about like a video or two ago, however long that was. But that seems way more egregious than this. So
it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a boomerang basics than this in a lot of cases.
You're like, but it got banned.
I mean, I could be. Are you locking it in?
I'm locking it
good?
in. No shot.
You good?
No shot. This got
no
banned.
shot. This got banned. Yeah, this card's banned. This town ain't big enough is banned. Yep, that is true. Banned in the same ban announcement with Corey Steel Cutter, Monstrous Rage, Hopeless Nightmare, Up the Beanstalk. Yep. And you could say, like, this card with Up the Beanstalk was a very good combo. This card with Hopeless Nightmare was a very good combo. And yet, I agree that I would love Boomerang Basics, man. I can't believe they printed Boomerang Basics after they banned this card. It blows my mind. I mean, Boomerang Basics being a sorcery is a big part of the equation, I'm sure, and this being an instant made so many things unplayable, but yeah, they actually banned This Town Ain't Big Enough. Are you okay? Did you hang up? Are you gone?
I'm not. I'm questioning reality right now. Okay.
So what they said here is This Town Ain't Big Enough has seen a lot of play. It almost always sees play alongside Storm Chaser's Talent. Remember the little otter thing?
The otter thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most recently, it's played in Is It Prowess, where they have self-bounce synergy that uses blue, which also had Corey Steel Cutter. But they say This Town Ain't Big Enough makes the format less fun through its unique ability to interact with any permanent-based strategy while still advancing its wielder's game plan. While not a huge share of its overall power, the loop with the Storm Chaser's Talent is frustrating and adds the threat of a game-ending lockout in many matchups, meaning they can just keep using talent to get this back and bounce one permanent every turn over and over at the cost of, like, what is that, seven mana? I still can't believe they mentioned that because that sounds so crazy to me. That bouncing one permanent turn after turn is a lockout, but okay. This is also probably why Hopeless Nightmare got banned, because if you have 2 Hopeless Nightmares and this, it's an absolute draining, miserable experience. But there you go. There you go.
Awesome. You know, I've learned a lot today. Truly.
About just what resilient and amazing Magic players, standard Magic players are, and what we go through. You know, how much we suffer for our art.
What we go through. Okay, yeah.
All right. You can't believe this is the piece of the puzzle, can you? You're flummoxed. I can't wait to see your face. Since
I can't.
Once again,
you're in for a treat. Yeah. People forget that we don't see each other while we film these.
No, we do not. But that
makes it fun for us.
Smile.
That makes it fun for us.
Yes. And let's watch it. Here's another one. What do you think of this card?
Abuelo's Awakening, X3 and white. I really hate cards with X's, I'm not going to lie. For a sorcery. Return target artifact or non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with X additional +1/+1 counters on it. It's a spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. Artifact or non-aura enchantment. So it's turning an artifact or an enchantment into a creature with a bunch of +1/+1 counters on it. So you could theoretically cast it for 0 for X, and it's 4 mana for a 1/1 artifact or enchantment from your graveyard. Correct?
You're right. Yep. Oh, don't forget it's a spirit. It's very important. Maybe. I don't know.
I was about to say, is it?
No.
I mean, kind of a unique effect, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this seems whatever. I don't even know if this card's good.
Isn't good.
I think my brain's fried after the last one.
This town ain't big enough for Cimo's brain and
It's
the
not.
MTG ban list. They can't.
It's not.
It just
There's
can't
your title.
coexist. Yeah.
Here's your title.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, unless there's some really weird interaction with this because of the fact you're turning an artifact or an enchantment into a creature, then, like, maybe, but that seems cope. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. There's no way they ban this. But I didn't think they banned the last one, so I'm ready for the 1-2 punch.
What if this card's legal in standard?
Yeah, but you could say that about, like, anything if Omniscience is legal in standard.
Omniscience
right?
is legal in standard. Yeah. It's in Foundation, so it's legal in standard for at least 5
Sure.
years. You know Omniscience. It lets you play Yu-Gi-Oh! In Magic.
It does.
Everything's free. Look, that's cool, right? Isn't that cool? Don't you want a 1/1 spirit Omniscience for 4 mana?
I feel like you could do way more oppressive things with Omniscience active than play Abuelo's Awakening, but go ahead, tell me it's banned because someone at Wizards lost to this card one time.
This isn't Commander, okay? There's
Oh,
raw
excuse
data.
me.
All right, come on now. Come on now. Abuelo's Awakening in Standard was like, gosh, what did you see with this? It got back cards like Portal to Phyrexia, which was a really fun artifact that made everybody sacrifice 3 cards. It was a meme deck card. It was very much a meme deck card. Standard
Sure.
has a lot of like reanimation effects that are just like 4 mana, get a creature out of the graveyard. This is normal. And then Wizards started experimenting with, how about we do something in white where we get something out of the graveyard, but because they're really into history and things like that, right? We can get enchantments and artifacts. So this was like this is kind of a fun card. It's just a fun card. But it got banned.
Because of the Omniscience
Because
interaction?
of Omniscience. Yeah.
Wow.
It got banned. So the second most, let's read what they say. The second most popular deck at Pro Tour Final Fantasy was Omniscience Combo with more than 20% share of the meta.
Wow.
The Omniscience deck has existed as part of the meta game for a while, but climbed in popularity to be a major player after gaining new cards in Dragonstorm Tarkir. What it gained there was a dragon loop. I don't even know if I've shown you this card, so this is fun. I didn't plan to either, so obviously Livy's going to edit this part and not have me frantically searching for this card.
Meringue River Regent. Flying, when this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. And then also has an instant omen, draw 3 cards and discard a card. And then Roiling Dragonstorm, 1 in blue for an enchantment. When this enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. When a dragon control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Now, we talking about this in the context of the Omniscience or just by itself?
Well, I mean, by themselves, but when it's free, you can definitely start putting together that you can draw your whole deck.
Right, exactly. Because you play the
Dragonstorm.
Dragonstorm, you play the River Regent, you can like bounce stuff and then you just keep looping, right?
Yep, and you can draw your deck and win. However, they also are really good with this strategy because they both allow you to discard a card. They can throw your Omniscience in the graveyard. They're good pieces for the deck.
Sure.
In other words.
Sure.
Yep. So what they go on to say is that they want combo decks like Azorius Omniscience to be something that exists in standard, comma, but there's always a but. When too strong, they warp the meta game around them and reduce the number of viable decks. And Omniscience has proven too powerful and consistent. So Awakening, I feel like that's just a conflict of
ideologies, right? They're like, oh, we want it to be here, but it can't be too good. I don't know. That seems dumb. That seems like a dumb line of logic, but I guess like I see it, but even then it's like, okay, like now that you show me the fact that like you have the fact to like draw your whole deck and do stuff like that, and it's like, you know, that sort of makes more sense. Like I get it, because I was just like, where are we going with this? Because at the end of the day, it's like Omniscience is cool and all, but if you don't have like the engine to sort of like do something with it, then it doesn't matter, right? So I get it now. Okay.
Yep. And it is it is funny that the last line is, this version of Omniscience is too powerful and consistent, and for these reasons Abuelo's Awakening is banned.
Right, exactly. We're not going to do anything about Omniscience, you know.
No, they want that.
Because they want that
in the format. It's in Foundations.
It's fun,
it's there
and
5 years.
Flashy and exciting.
Yeah. It's a chase card. Yeah. And they banned the little reanimator spell. My friend, you've done it. You have seen the 11? Is that right? Banned cards in
Was
Standard?
Abuelo's Awakening used for anything else, or is it just this combo?
I mean, it was a meme deck until like it got going with Omniscience. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't used for anything, but it wasn't used
but
well.
Like,
that's for
anything
damn
good.
sure.
Yeah, let's put it that way.
No, not really. No. It's so sad. It finally had a niche and a role. And what was it doing? It was competing in a format where Corey Seal Cutter and Vivi were legal. And it had the nerve of reanimating Omniscience in such a format. So they banned it.
We're not going to ban Omniscience, though. Not that that's a problem.
Yep. So that's it. That's all the stuff that they banned this year. Do you think that's more than Yu-Gi-Oh?
I mean, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably banned more cards, but again, none of them are like, only a couple of them are relatively new. So, I mean, that's the thing with an Eternal format, right? It's like usually the old cards that didn't have all the restrictions are the outliers. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do this for Yu-Gi-Oh! I can go and find all the banned cards for that. That'd be fun to do.
And don't worry, guys. There are 7 sets coming to Standard next year compared to only 6 this year. So we'll get them next time.
More ban cards. Woo! Maybe we'll break a record. Maybe we'll ban cards even faster this time.
Hell yeah. Bring it on, 2026.